on page, this is on page 370, they've got a couple examples. They've got x squared plus x minus 12, and they graphed it. Can you see that they used a dotted line for graphing? And if you pick the vertex as an example, there's my vertex. Did they shade above or below that vertex? They shaded above. Does that make sense with the sign that we have right here? That you would shade above? Y is bigger than. Y is greater than. Shade above. Here's another one. Y is less than or equal to. So if you picked any point on your graph, like the vertex, if it's less than or equal to, you would shade below. Okay? One of the things we never talk about with shading is we don't talk about inside and outside the parabola, because that can change whether the parabola opens up or down. We always talk about shading above or shading below. If my parabola opened down, can you see that shading below would look like it's in the inside? And here shading below looks like it's on the outside. So we always want to say either shading above something or shading below something, because that's what the sign less than or equal to means. The y values are less, and less means below. You don't have to put the arrow. That just helped me. When I pick a point and draw above, it helps me see really, okay, I have to shade that section.
No, like at the end of the dotted line.
Oh, like when you're graphing? Yeah, the textbook never puts arrowheads on, but you are required to every single time. So here's another one. Greater than, you would shade above. Here they're showing you in the notes that you could also use a test point, but I think the shading above and shading below is probably the easiest. And so in the first section, in 5.2, we did linear inequalities. Now we're doing quadratic inequalities. And the same solid and dotted lines apply. So let's look at example number 1. We want to graph the inequality y is less than 3x squared minus 4. So we have to use all of our skills from chapter 4 for graphing. Is this in vertex form or is this in standard form already? Can you tell me the vertex? Or do we have to complete the square? Do you know the vertex? Yes. The vertex is going to be at 0 and negative 4. Sometimes the ones that have a 0 are the hardest to see, because it doesn't actually show up as x plus 0 inside the brackets. But this one is already in vertex form, and we could go and label the point 0, negative 4. Does this parabola open up or open down? It opens up. We can find our next point by going over 1, up 3. Now when I draw this parabola, am I going to draw this parabola with a solid line or a dotted line? It's going to be dotted. And we want to shade y is less than. So that means we can take any point, and less than would mean that we need to shade below. So I'm going to choose, ooh, this color looks like it's going to be nice. And I shade below my parabola. And there's lots of ones to practice on this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11.